Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Nikki Starr, and welcome to another day live. Today, I'm live from my Malibu Beach home, and I have Ashley with me. She's one of my current one-to-one clients, and she was here having a retreat with me. She's also gone through the Ultimate Woman program, and she's been having such incredible results. And I was like, you know what, Ashley, your journey is so inspirational. Like, you want to go on YouTube and share about what you've been realizing to remind people that they can transform and evolve too? And she was like, yeah, sure. So thank you, Ashley.
You're welcome.
And let us share. I always feel like befores and afters are such beautiful ways to juxtapose the transformations that are happening. So we have 4 areas of your life that you feel like have made some really big changes. So where do you want to start?
I'll start with food.
So let's start with health and wellness and food and nutrition. And so what's been going on for you in that space?
Okay, so first Dr. Nikki came over and was like, no. So I went in and I took everything out. It took me about a week to get rid of everything because some things I was like, I'm not ready yet. But it finally happened, got rid of everything, and then implemented all of the healthier versions, the substitutes, and just the actual healthy food itself. And my aunt came over this past week, and I have been eating really healthy, and she doesn't eat healthy at all. But I had only the healthy versions and the substitutes and the healthy food, so that's all she could eat. And I was at work, and when I came back home from work, I thought she was going to be like, I can't be here. But she ended up saying, I love this food. Can we get more? And I was like, what? Like, okay, so just by living and not making this person forcefully, hey, do what I'm doing because it's working. It's just, hey, it's here, try it. Do you like it? And she loved it. I loved it. So
yeah, so Ashley, it really, when we went through her goals and stuff, her embodiment was one of her goals. And most of my clients have an embodiment goal. I even have one, I think having the goal to always be in the best shape of our lives and feel really good and energized in our body is like foundational, And so one of the things I do with my clients, some clients I work with virtually, so I don't get to go to their house, but Ashley's in LA, so I got to go to her house. And so one of the weeks, it was also a surprise. I didn't tell her we were going to do that. And I like to trick my clients so they don't expect things in good ways too, So she was really good. She like laughed the whole time. I like opened the fridge. I'm like, no, like I'm pointing at all the things. However, I don't believe in restriction. So for every single thing she had, I gave her an alternative that was healthy, that was organic, that she could eat as much as she want and not have to feel guilty about it. And it's been great, right? Like, have you felt restricted or have you felt deprived at all?
No.
Yeah. So it's been so beautiful to watch her transformation with that. And what was the other thing what's the next category of the tip that you want to share?
So this one was actually number 4, but I'm going to make it number 2. And this is, I had the hardest time with my dad asking for a raise.
So let's just give them a back story. So Ashley is a part of her family business, and she's taking over as CEO eventually. And it's one of the reasons you came to me, actually. Mm-hmm. I remember. And I remember we set a goal for this. And let's tell them a little bit of the backstory.
So Dr. Nikki came over and we made all the goals and she helped me through it. And then she kept asking, did you ask for it? Did you do it? I made a whole presentation. Another month went by and she's like, hello.
Because also we created a new role, a new leadership role for Ashley within the company that would expand the vision of the company, that would grow the company, that would create a new sector. So it was like so many things that even like lit her up that she was like, I actually want to do this. I feel like excited to go to work. And it took her 3 months to ask. I'm like, Ashley, what are you waiting for? And what was going on for you?
I thought I had to prove myself. And I thought it had to come from him. I thought he had to be the one saying, Ashley, there's this role for you and it's perfect. But really, it had to be, I'm perfect for this role. And put me in, coach. Put me in, dad.
Yeah. And so it's actually a classic example of, if you don't ask, you won't receive. Ask and you shall receive. And so then what ended up happening, finally you like did the presentation and you're like, all right, dad, like I have the presentation. What did he say after you gave it?
After he was like, oh, you didn't have to do that. He was like, yeah, here's the raise.
So she got a raise. She got her new position. She's going to create this new sector, like, you know, just in one ask. And she really started to embody more. She went from self-doubt and like being timid and being scared to ask for what she wanted, to then finally building the courage through the energy work and the transformation work. What do you think like helped with that the most? Do you think it was creating the vision or doing the energy work? Or what do you think helped?
I think it's you staying on top of me.
Yeah, I'm like, did you do it yet?
I think it was everything plus the added keeping me on track. Like, why have you not done it yet?
Well, you know, guys, like I have a very loving motherly side to me that's like a little bit like stern mother energy, but in a loving way that like literally my clients see results because they do the action steps, they stay accountable. And so Ashley stayed accountable and we're so proud of her because now she has everything she wanted in her job. So yay. So what's the next thing that was like a big realization for you?
In the relationship zone with a male counterpart.
So romantic relationship.
I used to stay in this, you're not giving me this kind of low vibrational, give me this and blah, blah, blah. And so finally I took a step back and was like, okay, what are you doing? If you're not doing it, then why am I staying? Like, so I was just sitting back, and as I sat back and let him come to me, everything that I had been whining about, he just did on his own. And so that was a huge realization where it was like, oh, I don't have to push him to be what I want. He's going to be what I want if I just let him.
Yeah. And so Ashley is really speaking to masculine and feminine dynamics. And we went over that about what's being in our feminine, what's being in our masculine, and mothering. So for all the ladies listening, mothering energy is masculine. So when you like tell your men to do things and you're like, did you do that? Or like this energy is like turn off central in relationships. And Ashley really learned to like lean back. She set a really powerful goal. And so I think part of that too, it's like trusting in the goal that you set and that the man will magnetize who is a match to your goal and a match to what you want. And you're not even saying anything. And he's like, I'm moving in. He literally said that while she was at the retreat. He's like, oh yeah, just so you know, I'm setting everything up so I can move in with you. And she was like, and he's like, yeah, we'll do it sooner than 6 months, because she was planning for around 6 months. So that's so awesome. I know the ladies are loving to hear this, that it's true. And you're just like embodying yourself and like being yourself and like focusing on you, and that's changing him. You're not focusing on him trying to change him, right? Yeah. And I've been seeing that with a lot of different clients lately. So the moral of this story, of this segment of the realization, is do your personal development work, and your perfect match, your partner, the person you desire, even if you're in relationship, they can rise to the occasion to meet you. You don't have to like make them change or make them do personal development. You just focus on you, do your work. All of your relationships will enhance. Right? Great. And so what's your last realization? She's like, I forgot. That's why I'm here. So remember you were talking about energy? and energy hygiene in the room in your room. So
yes. Okay, there we go. That's it.
This is actually the first thing I think she said too. So let's give a little backstory. So Ashley has always been sensitive to energy, like me, like I'm sure like a lot of you, that's why you tuned into my channel. Like energy hygiene is so important for us to feel really good, for us to feel just, and even to keep like the energies that are not feeling good away. Like we need to cleanse our space, cleanse our being, fill ourselves with good energy, fill our spaces with good energy. Like we have the power to do that. So when I first started working with Ashley, like, you know, we've always been doing energy hygiene. We still to this day, even the way I host retreats, it's like cleanse, clarity, calling in. Like that's my methodology that I share with all my clients in all the different ways. So the vibes of your house went up. Like, you know, I was going over there twice a month, and we were doing all these rituals and healing sessions in her home. So even I would come over and I was like, oh, like I could feel when she would energetically clear the space before I came. And it felt very clean. I was like, I don't even feel like I need to do anything. The energy's really good. Like, great job, Ashley. And we set one of her rooms to be like kind of like your meditation and healing room, right? Yeah. So it's like her own meditation and healing room. And so what's been happening because of that, or even the house in general, like what have you been noticing about the energy of the house?
So I've been noticing that people that used to come over don't really come over as much because the energy is so high. But then specifically with that room, I've had.
Well, let's just go back to that for a moment. So what about these people is not like, let's share a little bit more about that.
So I no longer have alcohol or candies or anything in my home. And so people that have those wants, it's not in my home. So then they're just like, oh, I don't want to be here. It's not for me. And I'm like, at first I was taking offense because I was like, you don't want to be around me. But I realized that what they wanted wasn't being provided in my home. So they were like, I'd rather go somewhere else.
Yeah. So what Ashley's talking about is like energetic and vibrational match. As you make changes in your life, the people who come into your life are going to change. And so let's say if you start to have habits that are like healthy and make you feel good and uplift you, you'll attract more people who are like in alignment with that. But if you have habits where maybe you have addictions, or you get like drunk, or you like sugar, or you like alcohol, and the other person doesn't do that, like it's like not a match. So it's almost like there's a natural selection process that happens. So Ashley's been noticed kind of like a shift in things. And so she has a special room in her house. So what happened with that?
So that room has been the room where I've meditated. I close it off. I have, a place for my like spirit guides to go and angels. And the last two people that have been over are like, am I allowed in that room? And I was like, who told you that you couldn't be? Like, yeah, go ahead. Like, go get the candle. Go ahead, go get that. And they're like, no, I don't want to. And I was like, maybe it's like just for me then. Like, maybe that's what I did.
Yeah. So this room that she's doing all of her spiritual activities, her meditation, she's an altar, her healing work. People are asking permission to enter that room. And we're speaking to the vibration of things, like the energy of things, and how that affects who comes into your space. And it also creates more of like this boundary. And I think that that's such an important thing when we're living in life, because so many issues happen oftentimes because of crossing boundaries. So it's like you're almost like demanding respect without, like, she's not even saying anything, just like her presence and how she's holding her home and how she's being in the world, like people are responding to that. And I think that's so beautiful. So yeah, we've been having such a beautiful retreat. Ashley is like literally like awaken to a new level. She's actually going to be joining my mentorship and mastermind, which I'm super happy about because I'll be transmitting all of my healing knowledge to her and all the women who are joining that. And so is there any last words you want to leave everyone with connected to anything? Like maybe people who are on their healing journey or on their spiritual journey, what advice would you want to give anyone?
I would say protection of yourself.
How?
Energetically, internally, just making sure that number one is taken care of.
Beautiful. So you hear that, people. Ashley says, take care of you first. And that's a form of protection. And she's right. Honor your needs, what you need, honor your boundaries. If something feels like a no, say no. If situations don't feel right, leave. Create the environment that feels really safe and nourishing for you. And really hold your highest frequency, whatever that means for you. Like good habits, healthy habits. Do the work and the spirituality you know it's good for you, the practices, the meditations, etc. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much, Ashley, for being here and saying yes and being a part to be an inspiration and a muse. And I hope and I trust that you took something away from this video. And we have the sun vibes coming through as the sun is shifting. So it's perfect timing. We're going to say bye for now. Thank you for being here. I'm Dr. Nikki Starr. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And I'll see you again soon. Thank you for being here. Bye.
You're a bomb.